Okay, class, the continuation of our lessons on realism. Just always remember that realism philosophy talks on the real object, or the reality exists in the real world, or the real object, or the matter. Where in idealism, reality exists in the mind of an individual. At this time, let's focus discussing the different proponents of philosophy. Of a different proponent of realism philosophy, shall I say. Okay. Generally, the considered father of realism philosophy was Aristotle. But here, we will discuss first the different proponents, or the different persons behind the philosophy of realism. Number 1, Mills, Comenius, Russell, Locke, and Rousseau. I'm not yet familiar with Mills, but then we will discuss that further as we go along with our lessons. But for Comenius, Russell, Locke, and Rousseau, their contribution on realism philosophy are: for Comenius, the contribution of Comenius in philosophy was the term knowledge, because Comenius believed that true knowledge could be found in things as they existed in reality, and when one came to understand how they came about. As a result, Comenius urged all people to recognize the interconnection and harmony among philosophical, scientific, social, and political facts of ideas. That is on knowledge. The connection of knowledge to the real one, the reality. That is according to Comenius. According to Bertrand Russell contribution relating to mathematics, and it includes a discovery of the logism, or the logic. That is the contribution of Russell to philosophy, to reality, and through that logic, it predicted that that reality has something to do with the real thing happens. Okay. Next, John Locke. John Locke is well known in his philosophy, tabula rasa. When you say tabula rasa, when an individual, or when a child born, their brain, or his brain, or her brain is empty. Then, as they go along exploring the universe, nasa real world na siya, nagkakaroon na siya ng experiences, and that experience will fill that blank slate in the mind of the child. And next, si Rousseau. It depends how you pronounce this one. Jean-Jacques Rousseau was a French philosopher and writer of the Age of Enlightenment. Rousseau contributes something in the development of political philosophy, particularly his formulation of social contract theory. And it is strongly influenced the revolution and development of liberal, conservative, and socialist theory in France. As what I have said, the well-known father of realism philosophy is Aristotle. Aristotle was a student of Plato, and Aristotle argued or disagreed with the idea nag-argue siya sa idea ni Plato in idealism philosophy. Okay? Okay. The proponent of idealism philosophy, that is not idealism, realism yan. Try to correct. Realism philosophy, it was Aristotle, the student of Plato. Aristotle is called the father of both realism and the scientific method. and also was the first to teach logic as a formal discipline in order to be able to reason about physical events and aspects. The physical events, or what is happening in the physical world, and that was the study made by Aristotle. Next, the main tenets or beliefs of realism philosophy are the following. Believes in the world which we see or perceive to be real. Okay. Kung ano yung nakikita, what you can see, you believe. Yung sabi nilang yung philosophy, minsan narinig natin yung term na to see is to believe. Okay, that is the tenets or the belief of realism. Realist believes in the present life. Okay, the present situation that we have nowadays is one of the contribution or the philosophy of realism. They believe that the truth of life and aim of life are in the development from the present and systematic life. Okay, what you are now in today's situation is what you perceive the real situation that you have. Knowledge is real and can be assimilated by the human being. Okay, knowledge, particularly knowledge is under idealism, then that corresponding knowledge becomes real when we are going to integrate this one in being human. Okay, pag maging makatao ka, do things in the right way, then perceive everything to be real, and that is the knowledge becomes realistic, and it was led to realism philosophy. The realists distinguish between appearance and reality. Realism believes that there is an objective reality apart from that which is presented to the consciousness. Okay, we could distinguish between reality and appearance, and what you can see becomes real. Okay, wherein we have different three doctrines. Okay, sa pagsabi nating doctrine, epistemological realism, when we say knowledge, then semantic realism and metaphysical realism, that is somewhat referred to what we believe is true. Next, realism and aims of education. The aims of realism to education. Realists do not believe in general and common aims of education. The aim of education should be to teach truth rather than beauty, to understand the present practical life. Okay, the clue words here, or the word focus that we're going to discuss in the aims of realism towards education is the practical life. Okay, maging practical tayo sa ating pamumuhay this time in order for us to survive. That is the realism aims of education. The purpose of education is to prepare the practical man of the world. Okay, we do everything in this world to prepare ourselves in the different situations that comes along. Example, yung mga human tragedies, the natural calamities, we need to prepare that one and be practical and prepare for the best as we can in order to survive. New realists aim at developing all-around development of the objects with the development of their organs. Okay, development of ourselves, the total development of being a human. Okay, maging successful tayo in developing something. Maging successful tayo by appreciating the real objects around us. And sometimes, pagiging realism, sabi dito, is the new realist aims at delivering all-around development of the objects, is being realistic is somewhat naturalistic. Okay, be natural is often used to depict, for examples. Next, realism and curriculum. Classical literature should be studied, not study its form and style, but its content and ideas contained. Okay, in curriculum, we study the content and the ideas contained in the curriculum, hindi yung style and form. Essential subject from ancient times, natural science and contemporary science, contemporary social life, and on